And I want to acknowledge you actually on this one, Tia. We have Shirley Brown here with us. And it was a public member that you have actually had some conversations with. And we've got Shirley here to share a bit of her story. I'm just going to see if we can get Shirley to unmute herself. Oh, try again there, Shirley. There you are. Well,
hi.
Welcome to the panel.
Hi, Daryl, and hello, everyone. Is my voice coming through okay?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's coming through great. Thank you.
Okay.
Maybe if you want to introduce individuals, just maybe in 30 seconds to a minute, tell us who you are and why did you make yourself available for us today? Because we greatly appreciate it.
So first, why I've made myself available is I am really discouraged and disgusted with the fact that there is a medical association that hasn't been able to get on board with making changes. We're in a pandemic that's changed our world, and they can't seem to get this through their head that they have to adapt. Certainly, as you mentioned, I do know Tia, and I find it absolutely ridiculous that we've got qualified, graduated students that are now they should have been able to launch their career fully a year ago, and they are being held up. So to add to that, who I am, I have worked for the city of Edmonton for many, many years. And currently, being with the city of Edmonton, we have had to make huge changes in how we provide service to the public, how we do things for the public. We have had to adapt in so many ways, and in many, many cases, very, very quickly. And the government of Alberta has also put pressure on the municipalities and put pressure on their own government in all ministries with an expectation to remove red tape and help the economy move forward, as well as help to have people working wherever possible. Now let's add all these wonderful bits of information that we've been hearing this morning, but appalling, like the statistics that LifeMark has given us and Karen has provided to the obstacle that this has created for the provision of health to our citizens. These people have to wake up and realize the barricade that they have put in place to provide healthcare, to provide service to the population, especially as we've heard this morning, the communities that are rural, how this is really creating a big impact on them and groups of citizens. And it's just ridiculous that they are not in this period of time. First off, from 2019, they haven't looked at successfully doing this differently. And I really wonder, I've had the pleasure of reading the Health Professionals Act. I've written read the regulation document that the physiotherapy community has. A little dry reading, I must say, but they're totally falling down on their responsibilities as an entity. And so I have drafted a letter to the Minister of Health and the Minister of Advanced Education that, I'm looking for some wise eyes on it before I actually send it to them, and making a call to the ministers to step in. Like, this has to stop. And I love the fact that I heard that if provinces get this sooner than others, there's going to be have-not provinces. So that's my platform message that I'm really happy to share with you. I think there's a lot of the public that maybe if they start rattling the chains with the provincial entities, the government entities, that maybe the ears will perk up and they can push.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion, Shirley. Thank you, and thank you for all those comments and your passion actually to help move our profession forward. So thank you for that. Mike, you had a question for Shirley.
Yeah, Shirley, thanks for being here. Love the passion, and you represent such a wide swath of our community. What you're talking about, I've kind of termed the Rex effect, and that's for another day to talk about. But if I might ask you, or maybe clarify one thing and then ask you a question. Clarification, the associations here, those that represent internally, I think are actually moving in the right direction. So Canadian Physiotherapy, et cetera. They're trying. It's a very difficult and complex scenario. So, but the question that I'm asking is, there is no better way to leverage political change in Canada than to say, I am a taxpayer. How do we mobilize, not just in Alberta, but around the country, to say, listen, this is now at a breaking point. So could you give us some suggestions of how we rally the troops here, so to speak?
So I think very simply, it's a matter of talking to the people that you know who are the citizens. It's most likely going to start with your family members, your neighbors. Like, I had my next door neighbor read my letter last night, and she didn't realize how broad of an impact the citizens, the population, the rural communities, like even hearing that LifeMark has 20 vacant positions, realizing that there's a saturation point because the clinics can only have so many student interns. I shouldn't call them students, the intern residents, that there's a maximum. And that saturation point, I think we may have already hit as a community. I honestly think if people realize that if the province doesn't move ahead, they're going to lose those trained individuals. So I think a lot of what has to be heard is there going to be a pain point that as a community is going to be felt. And when you're physically in pain, because I mean, that's why we have physiotherapists, is to help remove our pain. So if you're not going to be able to get in to see a physiotherapist, and I will tell you honestly, I have gone to a physio to be diagnosed rather than go to a GP who's only going to turn around and tell me, well, I'm going to send you to a physio. So why would I wait and prolong getting to the person that's going to help me? I hope I answered your question, Michael.
Yeah, I think you did. I'm acknowledging Mike's yes, shaking his head. Shirley, that was, well, music to my ears too, because I think everybody should have a family physio. And again, we're actually putting that limitation right now, and I think you said it so beautifully. So I want to thank you, from the whole panel and everyone on this call as well, and the many individuals that were unfortunately, were maybe working today and unable to actually join us. So maybe in the chat, everybody, let's give Shirley a super high five and thank her for her voice for our profession, as well as representing individuals who are seeking out our services as our citizens in each respective province. And Shirley, maybe I'll reach out to you afterwards if you'd be willing to share the letter that you wrote. We'd like to actually put it into one of our Facebook forums so we can actually allow individuals to share that with their family members, friends, neighbors, etc.
I'd be more than happy to make that available to you, Daryl, and everyone across the country.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Shirley. And it sounds like you got a busy household there behind you, so we'll let you get back to your day. But if you want to stick around, we'd be more than happy to have you still participate in the chat. So again, Shirley, thank you very much, and stay safe.